Your dream should terrify your excuses. If it doesn't jolt you out of bed with fire in your chest, it's not big enough. Chaos, that's your training ground. Pain, that's the price of finishing. Every legend felt the urge to quit, but they walked through hell anyway. Because the life you want isn't in your comfort zone. It's in the gap between who you are and who you're meant to be. Your dream should be a colossal force so electrifying, so viscerally consuming that it silences the whispers of what if I fail under its sheer magnitude. If it doesn't rip you from sleep at 3 a.m., heart pounding like a war drum, it's not big enough. This isn't about quaint goals. It's about a mission that terrifies and thrills you in equal measure. Look at Elon Musk betting SpaceX on a single rocket launch, or Serena Williams grinding through pre-dawn training to dominate a sport that once excluded her. The weight of their ambitions crushed complacency. Science backs this. A study in Nature Neuroscience found that people with intensely vivid goals activate primal brain regions linked to survival. Their dreams hijack their nervous system. Small visions fit neatly in spreadsheets. Legendary ones bleed into your sweat, hijack your conversations, and refuse to let you settle. If your dream feels safe, comfortable, or achievable within your current circle, you've capped your potential. The human spirit thrives on the edge of impossibility, so dream like your life depends on it, because it does. Every visionary reaches the breaking point where the path splits, one road leading back to safety, the other plunging into the unknown. This is where ordinary souls falter. Their knees buckle when the heat intensifies, but the legendary, they lick their lips when hell's flames lick at their heels. Consider Edison watching his lab burn to ashes at 67, smiling as he declared, "All my mistakes are gone." Picture Oprah fired from her first TV job, told she wasn't telegenic enough. History's titans share one trait. When rational minds would quit, they double down. Neuroscience reveals why. At the brink of surrender, pushing through literally rewires the brain's resilience pathways. This is the crucible that separates temporary enthusiasm from uncheckable purpose. Retreat leaves you with comfortable regrets. Advance through the fire, and you emerge forged into something greater than yourself. The world's most extraordinary achievements weren't born in comfort. They were clawed from the jaws of what would break most people. When your moment comes, and it will, remember the difference between I almost did it and I change. Everything is measured in those extra steps taken when every cell screams to stop. Hell isn't your enemy. It's the refiner's fire where legends are tempered. Greatness isn't forged in comfort, it's tempered in the white-hot fires of chaos. If you can't operate when the world is screaming, when plans crumble, when everything's on fire, then you'll never tap into the raw and tame version of your potential. Peak performance isn't found in sterile labs or perfectly curated routines. It's born in the storm. Think of Churchill rallying Britain when Hitler's shadow darkened Europe, or Michael Jordan dropping 38 points with a 103-degree fever in the NBA Finals. The Navy SEALs don't train in calm waters, they drill in freezing ocean swells, sleep deprivation, and total sensory overload. Why? Because real mastery demands adaptability under siege. Science confirms this. A Yale study found that individuals who regularly expose themselves to controlled chaos develop 50% faster decision-making skills and 3x the mental resilience of those who avoid discomfort. Your brain doesn't grow when everything's easy. It rewires itself when forced to adapt, improvise, and overcome. So if you're waiting for the perfect moment to act, you've already lost. The greats don't fear chaos, they leverage it. When others panic, they focus. When systems fail, they innovate. When pressure mounts, they rise, because here's the brutal truth. If you need ideal conditions to perform, you'll never be ready for real victory. Tomorrow is the most dangerous lie we tell ourselves, a seductive fantasy that robs more dreams than failure ever could. Your brain is wired to prioritize immediate survival, not some distant future. That's why later feels safe while now feels risky. But here's the brutal truth. Tomorrow doesn't exist. The only time your dreams breathe is in the raw and filtered present, this exact second where you choose action or excuse. Neuroscience proves it. Every time you postpone, you strengthen the neural pathways of procrastination. A Cambridge study showed it takes 5x more mental energy to start something you've delayed versus acting immediately. Your mind wasn't built for someday, it was built for now. Look at how history's greatest operated. Beethoven composed his masterpieces after going deaf. He couldn't wait for perfect hearing. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter on napkins. As a broke single mom, she couldn't wait for a better time. Kobe Bryant trained at 4 a.m. daily. He knew championships were won eventually. Your dreams don't live in some imaginary future. They're bleeding out right now with every "I'll start Monday." The most dangerous regret isn't failing, it's never starting, because you were waiting for more money, more time, more confidence, more perfect conditions. Wake up. This moment, yes, this one is the only real currency you have. Every second you spend planning instead of doing is another grain of sand slipping through your fingers. The world belongs to those who understand. Today isn't preparation for tomorrow, it's the battleground where legends are made. Stop romanticizing the future. Your dreams are dying of neglect in the present. What you do in the next 60 minutes matters more than what you plan to do in the next 60 days. Self-respect isn't found in the spark of inspiration, it's forged in the grueling marathon of completion. Anyone can start with enthusiasm. True warriors are defined by their willingness to bleed out the last mile when the excitement fades and only grit remains. Those tears of frustration, that sweat soaking your shirt at 2 a.m., that's the alchemy that transforms I tried into I conquered. History doesn't remember those who merely began, it immortalizes those who finished. Think of Mandela enduring 27 years in prison without abandoning his cause. Consider Marie Curie laboring in a freezing shed for 4 years to isolate radium. Their strength wasn't in their first step, but in their refusal to quit when every cell screamed for relief. Science confirms this. A Harvard study revealed that people who consistently follow through on commitments develop a 60% stronger sense of self-worth than those who abandon projects. Your brain literally rewires to respect itself more with each finished endeavor. Every completed task, no matter how small, is a brick in the foundation of uncheckable self-trust. So when the voice whispers, "Just quit," it's too hard. Recognize it for what it is, the birth pains of your future self-respect. The moments you push past that voice are the moments you earn the right to look in the mirror and say, "I am someone who keeps my word," especially to myself, because here's the raw truth. Your integrity isn't measured by your promises, it's measured by your completions. Every president facing a nation in flames, every champion trailing in the fourth quarter, Every lion starving on the savannah, they've all tasted the honey-sweet poison of surrender. That whisper saying, just stop, ... this hurts too much, doesn't discriminate between the weak and the strong. The difference, winners drink that poison ... and then spit it in destiny's face. Look at Lincoln's 1864 re-election campaign. His own cabinet thought he'd lose. Watch Ali absorbing Foreman's punches in Zaire before the rumble in the jungle. Study how lioness stalks prey for 20 failed attempts before the 21st succeeds. They all carried the same weight of doubt you feel right now. What made them legends wasn't immunity to fear, but the savage discipline to act despite it. Neuroscience reveals why this works. When you override the quit impulse, your brain's anterior mid-cingulate cortex physically grows thicker, literally building your resilience muscle. Navy SEALs call this 40% rule. When your mind says you're done, you've actually only used 40% of your capacity. The other 60%, that's where history gets written. Here's the raw truth they don't teach you. The urge to quit isn't your enemy, it's your most valuable training partner. Every time it shows up and you outlast it, you're depositing strength in your psychological bank account. That's why veterans of hard things develop near-arrogant confidence. They've proven repeatedly that their worst moments weren't their breaking points. So when that seductive whisper comes again, and it will, smile. That's not the end, that's your signal. The moment when you get to ask yourself the only question that matters. What kind of animal am I? Your current reality is a prison of your past decisions, but your potential is a limitless frontier. That aching gap between where you are and what you're capable of. That's not emptiness, that's sacred ground. That's where your future self is waiting, screaming at you to close the distance. Most people live in the delusion that they've peaked. Champions know better. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school team, then became the greatest. Oprah was fired from her first TV job, then built a media empire. Your past does not dictate your ceiling, your daily choices do. Science proves it. Neuroplasticity means your brain can rewire itself at any age. A study in Nature showed that adults who consistently pushed beyond comfort zones developed sharper cognition and greater resilience than those who settled. Your potential isn't static, it's a muscle that strengthens under tension. So why does the gap feel so vast? Because you're not supposed to be comfortable there. Growth lives in the stretch, the struggle, the I don't know if I can moments that precede every breakthrough. The difference between who you are and who you could be isn't talent, luck, or time. It's your willingness to endure the discomfort of becoming. Here's the raw truth. If you're not embarrassed by who you were a year ago, you haven't grown enough. Stop romanticizing. Someday your destiny isn't hiding in the future, it's buried in your daily grind, your relentless pursuit of the next level. The question isn't can I, it's will I. The world doesn't reward the most gifts it crowns those who hone one to a killing edge. You're sitting on a blade of potential, dulled by distraction, waiting for some mythical more before you strike. Stop. Picasso didn't need 10 talents, he needed one brush. Messi didn't need 10 skills, he needed one left foot. Your obsession with what's missing is the only thing missing. A Stanford study of elite performers found 87% had below average ability in multiple areas, but one weapon they sharpened relentlessly, while others wasted years chasing well-roundedness. The greats were in the shed, bloodying their hands on the grindstone of mastery. This isn't inspiration, it's physics. A dull axe requires 10x the swings of focused laser-cut steel. Your scattered efforts diffuse power. Your sharpened edge concentrates destiny. The Japanese sword-making ritual Tamahagane takes 3 tons of iron or to forge 1 katana. That's your mandate. Burn away everything until only your lethal core remains. You already have the gift. Now attack your craft like a starving wolf attacks bone marrow, not until it's empty, but until your teeth break. History remembers specialists, not dilettantes. No phones, nitrogen monoxide noise, nitrogen monoxide distractions, just you, the silence, and the terrifying truth of what you really want. Most people spend their entire lives running from this moment, drowning their discontent in Netflix binges, empty notifications, and manufactured busyness. But here's the brutal reality. If you can't sit alone with your thoughts for 1 uninterrupted hour, you're not living, you're hiding. Elite performers don't fear solitude, they crave it. Michael Jordan practiced in empty gyms at dawn. Einstein developed relativity during his thought experiments at the patent office. Naval Ravikant attributes his success to sitting quietly for hours until the truth emerges. Neuroscience confirms this. A Harvard study found that 90% of breakthrough ideas come in moments of deep focus, never in distraction. Your brain only reveals its deepest truths when you stop drowning them out. This isn't meditation, it's interrogation. Lock yourself in a room with nothing but your unfinished dreams, the excuses you've been telling yourself, the raw, unfiltered version of who you could become. Stay there until one of 2 things happens. 1, you finally admit what you truly want. 2, your hunger becomes so unbearable. Action is the only escape. Because here's the secret no one tells you. Clarity isn't found, it's forged in the silent battleground between who you are and who you refuse to remain. The world's most powerful weapon isn't talent or connections, it's the man or woman who's stared into the abyss of their own potential and didn't blink. Discipline isn't punishment, it's falling in love with the grind. Talent is cheap, potential is worthless. What separates legends from the rest? They do what weak men won't, not once, not when motivated, but daily, relentlessly, like clockwork. Elon Musk worked 100-hour weeks while building Tesla. Kobe Bryant shot 800 jumpers before breakfast. David Goggins ran on broken legs. These men weren't born different, they chose to master the art of suffering. Science backs this. A University of Pennsylvania study found that grit, not IQ, was the #1 predictor of success. Your brain is wired to seek comfort, but discipline rewires it to crave the pain of progress. This isn't about motivation, it's about ownership. Hate waking up early, do it anyway. Dread the gym, go harder, fear rejection, seek it out. Discipline is the ultimate power move. It turns, I can't, into watch me. It's too hard into good, I'll start tomorrow, until I already began. The world doesn't reward talent, it rewards those who outwork their excuses. Stop waiting for inspiration. Become it. The world doesn't care about your dreams, it bows to those who bleed them into reality. Vision without execution is hallucination. History doesn't remember the geniuses who almost changed the world, it crowns the obsessed who refuse to stop until their name was etched into the fabric of time. Elon Musk slept on Tesla's factory floor to meet deadlines. Kobe Bryant shot 800 jumpers after breaking his finger. Marie Curie worked in a freezing shed for 4 years to discover radium. They didn't just dream, they outworked fate itself. Here's the brutal math of greatness. 1. Talent times 0 action equals 0. 2. Average effort times 10,000 hours equals mastery. 3. Obsession times relentless execution equals legacy. A Cambridge study found that 92% of abandoned goals die from delayed starts, not failure. The difference between someday and done isn't intelligence, it's stubbornness. 3 laws of obsessed execution. 1. Fall in love with the process, not the fantasy. Passion fades, system survives storms. 2. When doubt screams, action whispers. Watch me, your worst day done greater than your best day. Plan. 3. Exhaustion isn't your limit, it's your initiation. The top 1% aren't gifted, they're too stubborn to quit. The finish line belongs to those who treat their mission like oxygen, non-negotiable. Life or death, every damn day. Your move, will you be a footnote or a force? If this hits your soul, don't just scroll subscribe and turn wisdom into winning. Your future self will thank you.